All right. This should be interesting. Hmm.
Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom could be making his MCU debut in the Fantastic Four First Steps. This has already been widely speculated, but now a new possible Easter egg could confirm a big part of Doctor Doom's Latvian backstory in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in this alternate universe that the Fantastic Four movie will take place in. This would also confirm that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom comes from, perhaps originally, from the Fantastic Four universe. On top of this, we also have some info about what specific...
That would make sense, since he's clearly our Iron Man, but he's Doctor Doom over there.
Specifically Galactus wants from the Fantastic Four. In the official synopsis that Marvel Studios themselves released for the Fantastic Four First Steps, it says that Galactus is coming to devour Earth, but he's also seeking the Fantastic Four for a personal reason. And it looks like we know what that reason could be. It does have to do with Franklin Richards, but not the reason that we originally thought. But first up is Doctor Doom. One thing that has remained a pretty big mystery is how exactly they're going to bring in a Doctor Doom played by Robert Downey Jr. into the MCU, especially with no build-up whatsoever, and fans are really hoping for some type of backstory with him with Latveria. His Latvian backstory is really important to who he is.
Makes me wonder if anybody from the Avengers will run into him and be like, Tony? You know, that type of thing, and... No, I'm not him.
Well, one specific character in the trailer could indicate that we are about to get a pretty decent backstory for Victor Von Doom. The character is played by John Malkovich, and a lot of people, myself included, thought that he was playing Red Ghost. Red Ghost is a villain of the Fantastic Four. He even goes to space to expose himself to cosmic rays, him and a spaceship full of monkeys, and they all end up getting powers, and Ivan Kragoff gains the ability to turn intangible at will, therefore calling himself Red Ghost. Now, when Ivan originally goes up against the Fantastic Four, it's on the moon, so we know the Fantastic Four are going back into space, so this very well could be the case. However, an insider offers...
That rhymed at the player the game bars.
According to Holyfield News, he's not playing Red Ghost, but he is in fact playing Boris Karella. Now, we'll treat this as a rumor for now, but if this is true, it has some serious implications for Doctor Doom. Now, those who know this name, Boris Karella, probably know him as Doctor Doom's royal advisor. And he has been in Doom's life for basically all of it. He was very close with Victor Von Doom's parents, Werner and Cynthia Von Doom. And in fact, Victor Von Doom had a relationship with Boris's granddaughter, Valeria. Boris is there when Cynthia Von Doom's mother, makes a deal with Mephisto. She ultimately dies not being able to control the power that Mephisto gave her. She ends up slaughtering an entire village, and then King Vladimir sends troops after her and kills her. From there, the clan that Boris and the Von Dooms are in, the Zafiro clan, want to kick Werner and Victor Von Doom out of the clan. However, Victor Von Doom, who was 4 years old at the time, told the others that if they cast him and his father out, he would grow up to be worse than his mother and seek revenge against them all. So they allowed them to stay until eventually King Vladimir's wife got sick and he called upon Werner Von Doom to cure her, but he failed. So him and Victor Von Doom, his son, fled. But then Boris eventually went after them. He found them both, and Werner was almost dead due to the cold, giving his jacket to his son Victor for him to survive. Ultimately, Werner would die, but not before he made Boris promise to watch over his son, Victor. And that's what he did. Ultimately, Doom would end up going to school in the United States, and he went through all of his mother's stuff and he started to learn sorcery as well. Eventually, he would try to conduct experiments that would allow him to contact his mother in the afterlife, and ultimately one experiment would go bad, it would explode, and that is the incident that would scar his face. He got expelled from...
Yeah, with them going into ghosts and witchcraft and Mephisto, all this stuff going on now. It's proper to bring in Doom right now with the MCU.
School and would eventually return to Latveria in an armored suit made for him by the Tibetan monks. Then he gathered an army and he overthrew King Vladimir by killing him, becoming the leader of Latveria, with Boris by his side the entire time. And ultimately, Boris does go on to become his royal advisor. So, if John Malkovich's character really is Boris Karella, then that tells us that Doctor Doom most likely exists in this new alternate universe that we're
Yeah,
going to see in the Fantastic Four First Steps. It also
very
tells us
true.
that we're probably going to be getting a decent backstory for Doctor Doom as well. Again, this
Hopefully.
is just a rumor for now, but I really hope that this does end up being true and we do get some backstory for Doctor Doom before he's introduced in Avengers Doomsday. Or I guess if this ends up being true, he could be introduced in the Fantastic Four First Steps, which, again, I really hope happens. Now, we have two other really great pieces of information about the Fantastic Four First Steps coming from Alex Perez over at the Cosmic Circus. He recently mentioned that in the Fantastic Four First Steps, they were going to talk about the fifth dimension. Now, if you watched What If, you know that the Watchers are fifth dimensional beings. They exist above the concept of time and space. They can see the multiverse from the outside. From there, it's possible to watch the entire multiverse and its infinite branches. And according to Alex Perez, this is going to be addressed in the Fantastic Four. And this is probably why Reed Richards is trying to build a multiversal bridge. I'm sure the fifth dimension is going to tie into what he's doing. It also implies that we could be getting the Watcher in live action finally, although we have seen a few different Watchers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Although we do expect Jeffrey Wright's specific Watcher to show up in the MCU.
Yeah, those they were almost
the concept
campy.
of the multiverse is seemingly going to
like
be
a joke
kind of heavily
version
explored
of
in the
them or
Fantastic
something.
Four First Steps, and this would also explain how the Fantastic Four ultimately end up in the 616 universe. We know that Galactus is seeking to devour...
Not my
the Earth,
Reed
and from what
Richards.
it sounds like, based on some plot leaks, he does actually destroy the Earth. But from what we know, the Fantastic Four get away to the 616 universe before they die. But why is Galactus specifically searching for the Fantastic Four? Well, according to Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus, it is kind of what we've been hearing before. He does indeed want Franklin Richards, but the reason is a little bit different. Alex Perez says he doesn't know much about Galactus in the film, but all he does know is that he is there, and he wants Franklin to rebuild his old universe. And this makes a ton of sense. Well, kind of. It makes sense that he would want Franklin for his universe building powers.
Universe.
The part about the old universe does leave us with some questions.
Yeah.
The biggest one being, is Galactus in that Fantastic
He's from
Four
a different universe.
originally from a different universe? And if that is true, how did he end up in that specific universe he's in now with the Fantastic Four? We could theorize about this all day long, but ultimately until some inside information is leaked or we see the movie, we're not going to truly know. However, this does tell us why Franklin Richards, the son of Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, is included in this movie. When we heard the reports about this and then saw the leaked set photos of Vanessa Kirby's character Sue Storm with a child, we knew Franklin was going to be in the movie, but we questioned why they jumped so far into the future to where Reed and Sue are already married and have a son. Well, it looks like the specific purpose is, one, so Galactus can seek him out, and that's why Galactus is going to their Earth. But two, as we've talked about before, Franklin is probably going to play a really big role in the overall multiverse saga, specifically for rebuilding the multiverse after it's destroyed. This is what happens in the comics. Franklin helps his father, Reed, rebuild the entire multiverse. Literally, millions upon millions of universes will have to be rebuilt. And Franklin has the ability to create universes. And he'll most likely be responsible for...
Franklin is way too powerful.
or the soft reboot
The
that
damn
we get
god.
in the MCU.
He's like Dr. Manhattan.
Because we know that Marvel Studios doesn't always do everything exactly how the comics do them. In fact, they shouldn't do that because we know all of the story already. But it sounds like they're definitely taking a lot of inspiration from the Fantastic Four comics involving the multiverse, and specifically Avengers Secret Wars 2015. But overall, if all of this ends up being true, we're looking forward to a lot happening in the Fantastic Four First Steps, including possibly getting the origin for Doctor Doom, which I really do hope happens. But go ahead, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is this what you would like to see? Or do you think they should save Doom for a huge debut in Avengers Doomsday? Leave your thought.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, he might show up in this movie. He definitely might show up in this movie. If his handler is there, his damn advisor's there, then he might show up. I'm not excited about that because I don't know how they're going to do this. Just because you bring a popular actor back doesn't mean that the role that you put them in is going to be good. So I hope this is the right thing. I wanted an original Doctor Doom. I didn't want a Tony Stark Doctor Doom. Didn't. I would have liked to seen superior Iron Man or something, but whatever. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. If you enjoyed my reaction, hit the like button, subscribe, and share, and go over and subscribe to the Cosmic Wonder. That rhyme to play your game bars. 10 million subscribers.